Why, oh why do we make things so complex? What is it about what goes on in that 6 inches between our ears that keeps stopping us from rolling the dice on a new, exciting life? Why are we making it so goddamn complicated? Hi, I'm Paul Webb, and I've been helping people express and reach their potential for 3 decades now. And over that time, I've managed to amass quite an extensive collection of older metaphysical and psychological books that date back to around about the mid-ish of the 19th century. Now, these books, to be fair, often aren't the easiest of reads, but once you get into the flow of them, there is a certain poetry and majesty about the way the author is conveying his or her message. In this collection of books I've amassed, I have a series of essays by somebody called William James. Now, James is considered the father of American psychology, and he not only looks a little like Charles Darwin, but he was formulating his theories on psychology during Darwin's lifetime. I believe James was about 40 years old or so when Darwin died in 1882. Now, I did say that a lot of these older works are a little troublesome to gel with, giving it mildly, and William James's essays are no different in all honesty. But if you stick with them, you do uncover some absolute gems hidden within the pages. In one particular essay, James is talking about changing one's life. He points out that, in his opinion, to make a substantial difference in one's results, what we today could describe as a quantum leap, I guess, you had to follow just 3 simple rules. They were 1, start immediately; 2, and I love this, do it flamboyantly. Incredible. And 3, no exceptions. So let's go through each of them briefly, shall we? Firstly, start immediately. You know, so many people get bogged down by overthinking and a belief system that tells them they're not quite ready for one reason or another. But you want to know something? Do you really want to know something? If you are creating a new result in your life, something you've never done before, you are never going to be ready. How can you possibly be ready? You've never attempted this before. Of course, it's all going to be shrouded in mystery. Usually, all you do know is where you're starting from and where you want to end up. That bit in the middle, nada, nothing, zip, nil. Almost all success, especially of this huge quantum leap variety, begins with a leap of faith, a step into the unknown. When I asked a mentor of mine years ago why this was the case, he said that if all the steps were sequentially laid out in front of you, you wouldn't understand them. And so you'd make the unconscious decision that you couldn't do them, or they'd take too long, or they were above you. Your level of awareness wouldn't be attuned to them. You wouldn't vibrate in the same frequency of these. So you had to grow and learn as the journey unfolded. So just start. Get out of your goddamn head and begin. As Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. And that's so true. You're only going to regret the things you didn't do. So please, 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 live with no regrets. Secondly, and quite magnificently, William James says, do it flamboyantly. I love that. You know, usually when we try something new, we do it with just one toe dipped in, when in fact what we need to do is rip off our clothes and dive in head first with no concern for how cold or deep the water is. And the universe, you know, is inherently playful. That's why as kids we play with such abandon. It's our natural state before all the negative programming takes over and we make things such a struggle. So add a touch of flamboyance to everything you do. Make it uniquely yours. That way you never have to worry about competition and are free to create and bring to life what lies within. And by doing so, you leave your mark indelibly on the world. Finally, James says, no exceptions. Now this could be a little ambiguous for most, so allow me to give you my understanding of what James was alluding to here. When he says no exceptions, he's stating quite clearly, at least in my opinion, that we all have the ability to create something magnificent in some way, shape or form. That could be a space rocket company, or it could be creating a safe, loving environment for your children. You see, I believe, as William James clearly did, that we are all capable of so much more than we realise, that we are all gifted in some way, shape or form that's uniquely ours. I also believe that's the whole point of our play as a child. In that state of all is possible, we investigate through play what our talents are and where they lie. Unfortunately, before most of us express them fully, as I alluded to a little earlier, we are taught to stop daydreaming and playing and to start being more grown up. What a crock of BS, right? So when William James says no exceptions, he is really saying no excuses. We are all capable of so much more. So crack on, Macduff, or words to that effect. In summary then, just get started. Give it everything you've got. Be you, be flamboyant, enjoy yourself, do things with a bit of swagger and no exceptions. Life is short. We all only get one shot at it as far as we know. And we've seen that even in this modern technologically gifted world, something like a simple virus can shut down everything across the world and make everything so very difficult and different for us. So what are you going to wait for? Crack on and make a real difference in your life and in the lives of those you inspire. Be safe, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Take care.